it's kind of ridiculous to say favorites.
I wouldn't take you as somebody who's saying that lightly anyway. In certain
Yeah,
movies, it's kind of like, especially if it's not necessarily mainstream popular or whatever, and you say that about a movie that's not necessarily mainstream popular, it grabs you some kind of way. And saying
yeah,
favorite is a good shorthand to being like, hey, that stood out to me. Because you know how
right,
many movies you forget that you
right,
see that don't think
right,
nothing of again.
right.
So if you
And
say
see, that's
something's your favorite, that touched you some kind of way.
it does. I like stories that are deep. I like movies that make you think. Like I told you, I go to movies to think,
Yeah.
right? To be by myself and think if the world is bothering me, right? That's the place
Yeah.
where I go. That's where I escape. I love movies.
Yeah,
If
me
a
too.
if a movie is good, if the story is good, and you can still remember it after years not seeing it,
Exactly.
right? That's what's up, right?
Right.
And Bamboozle is one of them. Rocky 2 is one of them. Forrest
Yeah.
Gump is one of them.
Yeah.
Fridays is one of them.
Yeah.
I just love these stories.
Do you ever see this movie back in the day called Revenge?
With Kevin Costner, and he was like a Navy pilot who befriended a South American drug lord and
Yeah, and he got
had
with
an
his
affair
woman.
with.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great movie. That's the first movie I remember Kevin Costner in.
Me too. I think the same thing for me too.
Yeah, which is funny because Kevin Costner was recently on the Howard Stern show,
Really?
and yeah, they just this past week, and they were Howard Stern was asking him what it was like to finally get his break because he had been working for so long in the industry and not getting the breaks and just but he just kept on pushing it,
Yeah.
and then he had his breakthrough role. Matter of fact, he was in The Big Chill. That's when he thought he had made it, but
hmm
they cut out all his scenes and wound up on the cutting room floor.
I was about to say I don't remember him in a Big Chill. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I like him. And he's kind of underrated. He's kind of like because he did that movie
Oh,
Waterworld.
Waterworld?
Well, people
Yeah, I
try to
like
dog.
Water.
I like that Waterworld. I
Yeah,
like that movie.
Waterworld was cool. They
Yeah,
called it one of the biggest flops since Ishtar.
man, that was the original Aquaman. I dug that movie.
That movie
It's
was
like a
cool.
water-driven
Road Warrior.
yeah, Road Warrior. Exactly, Mad Max.
Yeah,
It's like a
Mad
water.
Max.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he did some good stuff. I like him. He's a solid actor, and I really liked him
Solid
in
actor.
The Bodyguard with Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. Yeah, yeah, he was good in that. I saw that.
Yeah.
Did you see his latest Epic Horizon?
No, and it got kind of canned pretty badly, and now I think it's on is it on Amazon or HBO Max? It's one of those.
I think it's on Max. You
Okay,
can watch it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it because
Okay.
I like his films. People be saying stuff, and you got people who really come through. And like I said, I don't have to like all the subject matters or be familiar with all the subject matters that somebody's doing. But if it's in the right hands, I'll trust it. I'll take that leap just because
All
it's
right.
that person.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, the last cast. Like, did you enjoy the ride? Yes or no?
Exactly.
Exactly. Right.
So,
Yeah. The Horizon. It's we can talk about that at a later date once you watch it. But
okay.
it's a long movie. First of all, we talked
Okay.
about on
Slow
the cast
burns.
slow burns,
Yeah.
right? But it's a western. We haven't had a western in quite some time, right?
Right. Right.
And so it's a story about. I won't go too much into it. All right.
Okay.
It's like four stories,
Oh.
four separate stories. Okay.
Okay.
And they're supposed to converge, all come to a head at a place called Horizon, Arizona. And
Oh.
I'll just leave it at that. Okay.
Okay.
I'll wait for you to catch up, and then we can talk later at a later date.
Okay. Now, is it true that it's like supposed to be like this is one part of a few?
So I didn't do much research on the movie. I just remember sitting at the Blue movie theater that we go to and
Yeah.
looking at the previews, and I said, "Man, that looks pretty epic. It looks like
Okay.
it should be filmed on 75 millimeter film."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It had those great scenes, right, of the
Yeah.
old West, right?
Wow.
The classic sunsets in the Arizona desert.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. So I just said, let me go check it out. But I had heard that it was two parts.
Okay.
So this is part one, and then part two will be coming out allegedly later this year,
Okay. Okay.
or maybe early next year. But that's what I've heard.
All right. Well, I look forward to checking it out and us discussing it. So
Oh, yeah,
that's
for
right
sure.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.